I'm having a fantastic time. This is why I don't bother with a radio, because I don't need one. There's a man up there. That puts into perspective how big those fighting robots are. Anyway, Transitface and I are off on a little trip tonight, so I should do a few pre-flight checks, I guess. Yes, now, I have this friend called Turbo, who is very well known for his Rover R8s. Everybody seems to know the guy. But recently, he's decided he was going to move away from the Rover world. He got off Facebook, he's got off WhatsApp and everything. He's left his group to somebody else and washed his hands of it. And that's probably why I'm off to Sutton Coldfield tonight to go and collect a Rover for him. When I put this postcode into my phone, I got a distance of 90 miles. And I thought, great, that's 180 miles round trip. And then I turned off the avoid motorways option on my route, and it's 102 miles. So my foot's bleeding quite badly right now. Anyway, Transitface. Transitface has just got itself a couple of new tyres on the back because they were wearing unevenly. The two middle ones. Oh, you can't see that. Yeah, that one and the one just on the other side there. One of them was wearing really badly. I mean, it was okay, and then suddenly it had a big bald patch on it. And then when this wheel was taken off, discovered it was bald on one side of the tyre, but not on the other. So obviously the tyre was, badly damaged or something, and it was kind of egg-shaped. That might explain why, when I'm driving along, it does this. Yeah. That'd be it. Because sometimes there's nothing in the back and other times there is. You're never really going to have the tyre pressures just right. If it's empty, they're going to be overinflated. If it's full of car, it could very easily be underinflated. So at least half of the time this is being driven around, the tyres are of incorrect inflation. What can I do about that? So, although I've got two newish tyres on the back now, what I didn't ask, how much air pressure we're putting in these wheels. And normally what I do is go next door, but it can be a bit awkward because I block up the road basically doing it. So is there another way of finding out whether these are going to be at the correct pressure or not? Yes, there is. Good. Also good. Everything is good. This is going to make a rather confusing image, isn't it? Every time I do a video that includes Transitface, you get to see the Rover Revival sticker on the back of there, which pleases Craig immensely. But what about my own? I still haven't done any kind of sign writing, and it's been down to disorganisation amongst other things. As I have a little trip out today, I thought I'd make my own sign for the truck. This is possibly going to be quite laughable, but I'm going to give it a go. It's got a bit of a air bubble in there, but that's my own fault. I haven't finished. Ready for my sign writing extravaganza? Yeah, I actually think that looks kind of cool. Oh dear, what's going on here? Starting a mission out at 4 o'clock, and I come out the yard and I'm already sat in traffic. Hopefully that will change soon. The problem is going to Birmingham-ish at this kind of time of day. I'll be around Birmingham after 5 o'clock. I'm asking for trouble. This is good. First little drive out in the truck with a massive Project Nigel thing on the front, and I can see people looking at it in the same way that they look at the car. They're probably thinking, what the jeffing hell's all that about? Well, I've just had a little drink of ginger beer, which is, as you can see, looks like diesel, but a bit more refreshing. It'd be nice if it was cold though. It'd be even nicer if it was tea. I do find motorways to be quite fascinating places. Not so much at this time of day, but into the evening when there's still traffic going on, people are still going places. All these different purposes for using the motorway, for work or for leisure or for some of the seedy goings on in the world, all using the motorway. And you don't know who's who. You know who some of them are, but certainly the seedy side of things, they don't always make it that obvious. And then the motorway services, fascinating places. Again, especially at night time. If you go in there and everything's open and there's still people knocking around in the early hours of the morning. The services, the utopian world of the motorway with a dystopian tinge to it. And that's why I find it so, I don't know, fascinating is the word, but I don't know why. Here I am again, keeping my distance as you're supposed to do, and you just get people jumping in front of you. You stupid C-Max and you stupid Audi in front of that. You both did exactly the same thing. And now I've got to drop back a bit again. So I'm not driving dangerously like you are. And oh, here we go, and then a BMW does it as well. There we go. I need my mega horn in this thing as well, I reckon. Well, I've been driving for 32 minutes now, which must mean I'm a quarter of the way there. But am I? No, I'm 20 miles in. I'm a tenth of the combined distance of the there and back journey. That's not very exciting, is it? Join me soon when I think of something interesting to say. Well, I'm about to join the M6 and the traffic is at a standstill just there. I hate to sound selfish, but I'm not going that way, so I'm not bothered. I really do hope that lot clears up by the time I'm coming back up here. If not, I'll be writing a stern letter to somebody. Very stern indeed. Gosh, that was energetic. Fancy tailgating a tractor unit. Get your slippers on, we're going to Sutton Coldfield. Sutton Coldfield, Sutton Coldfield, it's near little Birmingham. Sutton Coldfield, Sutton Coldfield, it's down the M6. I do like to film the big things on the road. Big orange truck with a bus on it. Only just about fitting. What an overhang. That's fantastic. Doesn't look like it's strapped down too well to me. And then here we go again. The M6 is the road for rescuing buses, it would seem. Yeah, that's a big plus, that one. Actually, the other one's the same. Both very big, and they're both going very quickly as well for some reason. Are they managing to do about 65 there? Isabel, get down from there! I'm having a fantastic time. This is why I don't bother with a radio, because I don't need one. I have my own radio. I had my phone on charge before I came out. I think it got to about 90%. And then, to be on the safe side, I plugged it in once I got into the truck as well. And now it's at 76%. So, how's that? How does that work? It's my phone charging the car battery. That's the only thing I can think of. If you're a bad passenger like I am, you'll find yourself bracing yourself, using the imaginary brakes and things like that all the time. You're in somebody else's car. But what if you're a bad passenger and a bad driver at the same time? Have a think about that one. Bracing yourself and using the imaginary brakes that are real brakes because you're doing the driving. That would be rather strange. Maybe that's how people have accidents by themselves. I know somebody like that. Yes. I know a lady who's a bit like that. She could have an accident all by herself. She could be in an empty field and crash into a horse that's in the next field. That's a stupid number plate. What is it? H13AYG. But what's it supposed to say? Hey Baug. Hey Baig. Hey, what is it? It's ridiculous. It really does look stupid. And you deserve to be pulled over by the Rozzers for having a plate like that. Lovely return journey. I quite like it when I've been on a bit of a mission and I'm on my way back, because I can pull my thing down there so I can have my elbows rested, and I just feel a lot more relaxed on the way back for some reason. And I'm making good time as well, according to my sat nav, which I've now switched off because I don't really need it when I'm on the M6. I shall be back before 9 o'clock, so it'll still be light. Cows down there, you can't see them, but they're just over there. It's spooky. The road is clear, the M6 is clear. I've had a really good run so far. How can it be going so well? It started off just a little bit slow, but it's been fine ever since. Maybe I will get home before some more cows over there. Maybe I really will get home before it's dark. That would be amazing. I'm very disappointed that I haven't actually seen any cows. But I have. I've seen hundreds of them. Yep. Because you tend to notice that when there's one in a field, there's lots and lots more. Oh, there's more over there. Would you believe it? But this truck here, I'm just overtaking a truck now, and it's in the way. So there's no chance you'd have been able to see them. I mean, yeah, what are the chances of that, eh? Bad truck behind me. Yeah, missed it. I've got 60 miles to go, and I'm just over a quarter of a tank of diesel. That old game of will I make it or not? really, because I underestimated the distance. I had to buy 2 tyres before I could even set off, and it's lugging more fuel than I was expecting this time. Not sure why that is. My name is Tom, and I'm a regular visitor on the lavatory. 3 or 4 times every day. 5 or 6 or 7 if I have a curry. 9 or 10 if I have a beer as well. Tom, my name is Tom, and I'm a regular visitor on the lavatory. I've got to stop singing the My Name is Tom song because it's making me speed up, getting all excited. Slow down, stay calm, save fuel. Men, if you haven't got a beard, you don't know what you're missing. A beard is what makes a man's face. You can stroke it, you can look at it, you can smell it. Ladies prefer men with beards, probably because they can't grow their own. Grow a beard. It's 8:15. Well, it's all been going so well, and suddenly this. May as well switch the engine off. It's going nowhere. Take the seatbelt off and have a little bit of a relax for a while. Switch the lights off. Something's gone on. Going nowhere. This is mildly irritating. Normally when I go on my trips, I make my own sandwiches, and I'll make what looks like too many sandwiches. I probably would have had 7 or 8 rounds of bread with egg mayonnaise, which I make myself. And at this stage, it would have been fantastic to just have myself a little munch up, because it helps alleviate the inconvenience somehow. So would a cup of tea. A cup of tea would help a great deal as well. But that's obviously not going to happen. So what a disappointing end to this. I won't even be able to show you the car in the light. Eventually, there's a little bit of movement, but it's not much. I can imagine that maybe something's happened down there. They just had to sort out the incident enough to start letting traffic through. But obviously traffic's not going to be going through very quickly at all. And we've got a clear case of everybody's journey's more important than everybody else's, so trying to get everybody into this one lane is always going to be a bit tricky. Usually what happens once people start doing as they're told, then it speeds up. But some of these cars like that Honda there could have been coming from miles back. That's what there was. My real concern is diesel now, because I've just seen that needle dropping through, moving so slowly, and once it goes below a quarter of a tank, it just falls like the needle from a pine tree, and I don't really want that to happen. And this massive hold up was all for I'm not sure, maybe something's about to happen. That was it. Nothing really. just a man in the road doing something. Yeah. Okay. Well, no bomb, no massive accident. Not that I wanted to see a massive accident or anything, but at least you could forgive being held up an hour for something like that. But for this, no. Really hungry now. Really fancy a kebab and a beer. At last, another Rover. Look, a plucky little Rover 25, driving far too closely behind that wagon. Who'd have thought I'd see one today? Well, I'm pleased I have. I wonder if he'll recognise the car in the back of here as being a Rover and get as excited about it as I am. Or will he just carry on about to crash into the back of that truck? Keep watching to find out. No, it was a lady driving that car, and I did a little beep to say hello, and she looked very angry at me. Just trying to be friendly. There she is again. I've got to say, that lady is very fond on tailgating. Look how close she is to that Volkswagen. That's really daft. That's asking for trouble, that is. I always feel that when I take the truck out for any decent length of a trip, something else goes wrong with it. And now, brakes are juddering for some reason. As if I've got time to be messing with that. Yeah, there it is. Admittedly, it's a little bit difficult to see because of it being dark, but you can definitely see that there's a car in the back. If it was white, like Transitface, you probably would be able to see it. Time to finally finish this video off, and here he is, Alfie's twin. Although Alfie's slightly neglected twin by the looks of it. A booted Rover 45 in midnight blue, but with quite a few more scuffs here and there. And I don't think it's been washed for quite a while. It's been sat in the garden for quite a long time anyway. There's various marks all over the paint. This is the kind of car I would really enjoy spending all day making look nicer, because I could do a job on it and it would look a lot better by the end of the day. But it has got quite a few sort of small trolley dings in it, especially down that side. It must have been owned by somebody who liked to park next to shopping trolleys. That's my suggestion. Well, that was not good either. This car does have the Cosmos alloys though, and those are my favourite for a couple of good reasons. One is that they're such a simplistic design, there's no excuse for them ever being dirty, and they look nice. And then when we look on the inside of the car, we see leather seats, which are generally preferred. So in a bit I'm going to go and look for pound coins.